Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bliss Out, using fun, play, and self-care to create a life you love. Today, I have with me Lisa Marie Rosati, who is a business mentor and lifestyle expert, and she's the creatrix of the Goddess Lifestyle Plan and Sugar-Free Goddess. She's an expert columnist for Aspire magazine, an international best-selling author, and high priestess of the Goddess Lifestyle Sisterhood and School of Magical Living. Believing that women can have it all, Lisa has created a thriving global brand that teaches women how to step into their feminine power in each key area of life. It's Lisa's passion to teach ambitious, soulful women how to create an abundant, purpose-filled, vibrant, healthy life and a prosperous laptop business they love. Welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm so good. I'm so good today.
Awesome.
Self-care has got mani-pedi, so I'm living the message today.
Good. Yeah, and some days we don't live at 100%, but we always come back to it, right?
Oh yeah, that's the important part, is we always come back to it.
So Lisa, I'm asked, do you like to be called Lisa or Lisa Marie?
Honestly, most everybody calls me Lisa. My name is Lisa Marie. I answer to both. It's really a personal preference for you, but Lisa's fine.
Okay. I like to start our interviews here with asking the different speakers what they feel is the importance of fun and play and self-care in creating a life that you love.
Well, I think it's highly important. And it's an interesting question because most people who meet me think I'm super fun. And I think I'm super fun too. However, I'm very serious. And having a lot of fun and being lighthearted is not really my natural temperament. I love to have play, but I'm a hard worker too. And left to my own devices, I will work myself, especially if I'm passionate about something, I will work myself into a point where the work becomes unhealthy for me by burnout. So I love fun. It's necessary. It is essential to creating a life you love. However, for women like me, and I seem to attract women like me that really do love the idea of fun, but then we put so much pressure on ourselves to do everything just so right that we end up pushing ourselves past where it's healthy for our body, mind, and spirit.
Wow. Yeah. And I think that is a lot of women, right? Because women are doing a lot these days. They're running their own businesses. They're having these successful careers or raising families, all of this. And it's really easy to put the focus there because a lot of times that feels like that's where it needs to be. Like that's the most important thing. And, what I would say is that it's actually the fun and the play that is the most important thing to focus on, and that other stuff comes easier when you do that.
Yes, absolutely. And to tell you the truth, when you are, and anybody who's creating a business knows this too, when you're pumping out, services and marketing copy and, ads on Facebook and everything, you're in that zone all the time, that head zone and the goal-oriented zone. And in magical terms, in spiritual terms, it's like the masculine energy. It's that masculine energy that we activate because, both every living creature has masculine and feminine within them. It's just masculine is not a woman's core energy, just like feminine is not a man's core energy. However, we all have both. So when we're activating and drawing on that masculine energy all the time, the fun and play and the receiving of pleasure, which really is what fun and play is very much in the feminine. And it is very healthy to have that. When you're stuck with work, sometimes the best thing you can do instead of trying to push through it and figure it out is to go play. And then the download comes.
Absolutely. And many entrepreneurs have spoken about that, written about that, how their biggest inspirations or solutions to problems have come when they've stepped away from whatever they were focusing on work-wise and gone and gone for a jog, gone and played a round of golf, gone and taken a vacation, all of these things. So
And
that's a really great point.
I just want to add to that, yes, you're absolutely right, but most of the time, all those examples you gave is getting out in nature, which is, of course, grounding and centering and utilizing the element of earth. So in my work with my, my clients, my students, we're always talking about these different elements, element of fire to create action and aligned action towards what it is you want, need, and the water realm, which is your emotions, and becoming very attached to your desire and what you're here to do, your purpose in life. And of course the air realm, which is your thoughts, where everything begins. Everything's a thought before it becomes a thing. So it was interesting that all of the examples you gave in order to go have fun and rejuvenate had something to do with getting out in nature, which is the element of earth. And that's really the truth. It's about grounding and centering. It's about even creativity. Drawing something or painting something is also the element of earth, because it's something tangible. You can touch it. You've created it. And when you take your focus off of, I need the answer to this, what is the solution, to allowing yourself to ground and center, be one with nature, be one with the universe, however woo you want to get with it, you're able to take that strong grip off of what you're trying to figure out, and it allows all of the information to come.
Nice. That's beautifully said. So we were talking a little bit earlier about the different work that you do. And one of the questions that I'd like to ask you is, what's the myth that keeps most women stuck and not creating their goddess life?
When you boil it down to its purest essence, it's fear. It's fear. But there's a bajillion fears tied into that word fear. Fear of not being successful and belly flopping in public. Fear of making more money than their partner and upsetting the relationship. Fear of being able to have and afford a lifestyle that your family and friends don't, and then you not feeling like you belong anymore. And there's all these fears. Fear of not being enough. Fear of not knowing enough. Fear of being seen and judged publicly and online by internet trolls. Oh my gosh, the fears just go on and on and on. But honestly, it's fears that keep women small.
And when you're doing your work with them, then how do you start to identify those fears?
Well, it's with a lot. Well, thank God, one of my gifts is that I'm extremely intuitive. I'm very good at a few things. I've been given gifts. One of them is I see patterns that most people don't see. I see patterns in behavior. I see patterns in vocabulary. I see patterns as just a gift. I thought everybody saw things like that, but apparently not. So I'm able to pick up right away. When I work privately with my clients, it's a very, very intimate relationship, as most coaches know that work privately with their clients. I mean, you become very good. I mean, I do anyway. I become very close with my private clients over the course of the program. And I'm able to start seeing and hearing what keeps repeating. It's almost like a story on a loop, like, on a recording that's a loop. And then we start going deeper into those belief systems around that looping. But a lot of times it's not the same thing they're saying over and over, but it's the same situation in different applications in their life.
It's like their lens that they're viewing their life through, and that's what's keeping them stuck. That's so interesting. So what is the importance of stepping through this fear for women?
Well, I'm going to say a bold statement. And the truth of the matter is that I consider myself a women's empowerment coach, but I really am not a feminist. Like I've never worn a vagina hat or anything like that. I really believe, though, that the world is in a very unbalanced place. I believe the world has come to a very unkind place, and maybe it's always been unkind, I guess, because so much of everything is right in your face on the media and on social media. It just seems like it's coming more at you than when I was a kid. So I believe that the wealth of the world should be in the hands of women. And I really believe that that's why women should stop staying small. We need to be able to begin to share our beautiful gifts with the world. We need to start stepping into leadership roles so that it isn't a male-dominated world. There are women putting their magic. I like to say it's your personal magic and your personal unique gifts into the world, making the world a better place and balancing those energies.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on the balance, because it's completely out of balance right now. And, I could go on and on. I don't want to get off on too many tangents, but like, not even just balancing the feminine and masculine in the world, but also within each other, within the men themselves, letting that feminine part of them out. I think women are very often in their masculine, and maybe even balancing the feminine in them as well.
You're so right about that. You're so right about that. I see that all the time. And honestly, not everybody identifies that, because women, I think since, the World War I or whatever it was, where women needed to go back to work. And then, of course, and I love the fact that women were giving all these opportunities to go back to work, but it did cause other issues, societal issues, like turnkey children, children that are raising themselves because the women are out working, the economy, women had to go back to work, women want to go back to work, whatever the reason. But it did bring in a whole slew of new issues. And for women, in order to get equal pay for what they do, I believe that the idea, well, it's logical, in order to make it in a man's world, you got to act like a man. That's not how we are wired. It depletes us. It puts us completely in an unnatural core energy all the time. And honestly, women stepping forward in a feminine way, speaking their truth. When one woman speaks her truth, it silently gives permission for all women to speak their truth, whatever that looks like. So there's such an importance for me for women to also create financial, I don't want to say financial freedom, that's gigantic, right? But financial liquidity, where they're not so broke, because when you're broke, you're stuck in whatever situation you are. You're stuck in a soul-sucking job. You're stuck in a toxic relationship. I could go on and on the way you're stuck, but the minute that women are able to take their gift, skills, and talents and monetize them, options appear. They have choices. And I love choices.
I agree with you. And so here's a question that, I have a question about this, and I think a lot of people do too, because again, of my area being fun and play and self-care, people are like, well, but I have to make money. How does that even, I will do that after I make the money, and then I will take the vacation, or then I will, play with my kids, or what, sometimes it's that extreme. Like, what do you say to that when you're connecting those two ideas, making money and the fun and the play?
Well, I tend to believe that making money is fun, first of all, and it is playtime, because my brand, I play with my community. I love what I do with them. I'm lighthearted with them. We talk about hard things sometimes, but I also balance it. And here's what I promise. My children would ask me all the time. I remember I started my business from like this in my home office when I lived up in New York, and I had little children, and they would come in, and we started having this structure around what was okay and what wasn't okay. So I had a door on my office. It was a French door, so you could see in. And I used to put on it a smiley face if they could come in, and a face with, like, the line. It wasn't a frown, but it was like, don't come in. And I would flip it. And they knew if that door was shut and the line was like this, it was no. But here's how I balanced it. When I worked. And when I was not working and I was with my children, I was 100% with my children. My phone was not near me. And it wasn't like I spent hours. But if they were like, Mom, can you do this with me? I would look and say, okay, not right now. However, what would you like to do tonight? Would you like to watch a TV show together? I think about it a lot, because my husband-to-be and we watch Big Bang Theory all the time. And believe it or not, it's been on so long that was my youngest son and my playtime together, because we both got the humor, and we'd lay in bed together at night, and it would come on, and we'd cuddle, and we'd watch Big Bang Theory together. And it's quality time. Play is about quality time. So it could be quality time between, you sitting on the beach, you watching a TV show, a 30-minute sitcom. Just be present. That's the biggest gift you could give yourself. You could give the people that love you, and you could give your business. You that time to just disconnect. And I'm guilty of it. Listen, I'm attached to my phone. My phone is my business. But I got to tell you, you got to love the people in your life that click you into they call you out on your crap. Shannon will be like, babe, enough with the phone. And you know what? I'm like, you're right. And I put it down, and that's it. So now I have rules around what I do. After dinner, that's it. The phone goes off. I don't, the world could blow up. My kids have the home line, but if something's happening in my business, I will get to it in the morning when I wake up. There's a lot to be said for having boundaries around your own behavior. I teach women to have boundaries, but sometimes we need to apply those boundaries to ourselves. Like, enough. I gotta put myself in check sometimes.
Absolutely. I know I've been working with that myself, through creating this whole series, because I could just keep going until midnight and then get up at 5 and do it again. And I'm like, this is my message. I need to make sure I'm living it too,
Yes.
At the end time on the day, go do something fun. I went out to just ride a roller coaster with my friend the other day, and it was the best thing because it takes all that stress energy out and then gives you new, revitalized, fresh energy to work with.
Yeah, that's sure energizing. Good for you. I'm getting on a roller coaster too. I haven't been on one in forever, but
I hadn't either.
I'm afraid, but do it. I love being afraid. Nervous energy. It's good.
Sometimes. Yeah, but that was definitely worth it. So what is the way that women can go ahead and, create their financial freedom then? And I'm really saying this, not the best way, but what is the best way for them to create that financial freedom for themselves so they can have the freedom to do what they want?
I truly believe that every single woman on this planet, because I work with women, I'm sure men are super talented as well. It's just I don't really deal with them all that often.
Yeah,
but I believe that every woman on this planet was given divine gifts, they've acquired skills, and they have talents. And when you are able to take a look at your gifts, skills, and talents, you will see probably a thread that runs between them. And I truly believe that women can utilize those gifts, skills, and talents to create, if not a career, but at least side money. That's one of the things I help the women in my sisterhood group do. Most of them are healers, or artists or massage therapists, but they all have side businesses doing Reiki, creating lotions and potions, selling gemstones. We all have this amazing compilation. We are as unique as snowflakes. We do things in a way nobody else does them. So why not put them out into the world without any pressure? But just like, here's a gift for the world, and who's meant to take it on will come closer. And that's truly why I believe that every woman can create eventually financial freedom. Listen, if you do business and you learn how to do business and you kind of move yourself or work yourself through the common blocks of visibility, of all the stuff that stops us along the way, because there's many, you can absolutely create an amazing life for yourself. That's what I did. I do not work. I work for myself. I might be completely unemployable at this point. I haven't answered to anybody in a very long time.
What a nice, place to be in, though. It's like, it's great. If you're completely unemployable, to me, that's almost like I'm completely in my being and who I am, because when you're employed, you're working for someone else. And there's nothing wrong with having a job, especially if it's in a career you like. But that you do kind of start to cater to that person, that boss, that job, whatever.
You're answering to them. I take vacation whenever I choose to. I live on vacation. Actually, that was my dream. See, a laptop lifestyle business, to me, I knew eventually my children would grow and they would go want their own life. So I was thinking to myself, well, I need to freaking start creating my own life now, don't I? Yeah. And I started slow. I started with zero budget. I mean, there's just no excuses when you think about it, because you can literally start up business online very inexpensively. You have to, of course, work through your blocks around visibility, about being authentic online. There's a lot of all this fear, and we keep everything very close and kind of closed up. It takes a while to work through it. Some people have that miracle where they're able to be wide open right away. That was not me. That was not my experience. However, business is business. And I say all the time, when you create this laptop lifestyle, you can go where you want, you can do business where you want. All you need is an internet connection. That sounded super sexy to me. And it still sounds super sexy to me. I love it. And I love teaching women how to do that. And I know every woman has something they can do that it can be monetized. I know it.
That's amazing. So what's the first thing that you have them do? The very first thing when they're like, I want to create, like say they want to create this business, but they have no idea. Or they have an idea, but they've never run a business before.
They've never run a business. Well, first thing I do is have them sit down and fill out my gift, skills, and talents questionnaire. And you have to dig down. And I'm talking to you like, I'm talking like, a divine gift is something you're born with. And usually we discredit it as no big deal. Like, I was like, everybody sees patterns. No, they do not. It's because I'm like, doesn't everybody see that? But usually your divine gifts are something that you actually take for granted as no big deal. And everybody are like, and then there's skills. We've picked up skills, and it could be, you could river dance. I mean, I literally go that deep. Like, what did you learn when you were a kid? River dancing, how to play the clarinet. I have them list everything.
If you have, I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you have skills that you probably don't see, how do you find them?
Your talents, you mean your divine talents, the way
yes, that's what I mean.
It's about thinking a lot about what you're good at, what comes easy to you.
Okay.
What comes easy to you? You don't even have to identify that you're good at it. What's super easy to you? What do people tell you you're really good at? People can tell you, they see more about you than we sometimes see about ourselves.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's really good to get out of, and ask other people, because it's hard when you're inside your own head, like to know what your divine talents are.
Yeah. But there's people that are great listeners. There's things that are discredited as non-important. And to be honest with you, when I'm helping my private clients create a lifestyle brand, being a great listener is an excellent skill.
Oh, it's my favorite skill in the world, I think. And I don't mean for me, like I think I'm a good listener, I hope I am, but when I am with people who are good listeners, it's my favorite thing in the world.
And not everybody has it. Most people.
No, I think a lot of people, and they're just in such a rush, they can't be there with you, or they're on their phone, like we were talking about earlier.
Presence is very, very important. That's another thing that doesn't come easy in this crazy, busy world we live in. Presence, like real presence. I'm here right now with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Another question is a little bit off the topic, but why is connecting with the flow of nature and following the moon phases essential to manifesting success in life and business, especially for women?
Yeah, especially for women. Well, women are cyclical creatures. We have our menstrual cycle every 28 days, roughly. The moon cycles fully from dark to full, to new, to full, to waning, to dark again. It's a whole cycle. And seasons, when women start tapping into natural changes, like rhythms of what's going on between the seasons and the moon cycles, you're manifesting constantly. What I teach women how to do is to manifest on a macro level, which is like, seasonally. What are we doing in winter? We're resting and rejuvenating. What are we doing in spring? We're beginning new things. We're following nature. We're beginning again, rebirth, right? And then in the summer, we're growing, we're pushing, we're using that masculine solar energy. And then fall, we're releasing what no longer serves, just like the trees do. They release their leaves and everything goes back down into the ground. And in winter, we rest and rejuvenate again and start again. And then also we manifest on a micro level. So it is always with dark moon, we go within, just like it's winter. Think about what do we want to manifest this month. Then new moon is spring. It's new beginnings. Then, of course, we go to full moon, which is like summer, the go for it time. Then we go to a waning moon, which is fall, when the leaves go down and release what no longer serves. We release what no longer serves that month. And then we go to dark moon and think introspectively again and rest and rejuvenate. What do we want to call in? So we manifest on a macro and a micro level, and we're just manifesting fools, I'll tell you. We're just constantly bringing it in.
Yeah, I love the idea of working with not only the seasons, but with our cycle, because I think a lot of times, again, with the push, we push through like the periods and we should be resting.
Yes. Yes. Big thing, big teaching with that. And usually women menstruate on a full moon or a new moon or right around it. Mm-hmm. Your cycle will start. So ladies, take note. Is it a full moon or a new moon? And there is meaning. There is meaning. If you menstruate on a new moon, there's some symbolism to that. If you menstruate on a full moon, there's symbolism.
What are some of the meanings?
I believe, and I usually go and reference it, but I believe a full moon, when you bleed on the full moon, it's usually because you're in a creation phase. I think so. But you can find it online. We talk about it a lot in the sisterhood, this like red tent stuff, because my menstrual cycle, interestingly enough, has flopped from new moon to full moon, because I've been late, I've been early, and it moves from cycle to cycle. So, moon phase to moon phase, I should say. And so that's been interesting to watch. But one of my friends put an article up online. If you Google like menstruate during full moon meaning, it should pop right up on the Google search. But it's an interesting thing.
Yeah. And another question, this is a random question about manifesting. Because I've noticed this for myself lately, I seem to be more adept at manifesting things I don't want to fall away. Do you know what I mean? Like if I don't want, say I don't want to have a meeting with this particular person because I'm tired, they cancel. Or, I have a job that I'm not enjoying and it goes away. Like what is that, as opposed, is that a different type of manifesting or a different level as opposed to manifesting what you do want?
Yeah, well, usually when you're taught manifesting in the proper way, that the Hermetic laws are taught with manifestation, the Kabbalah, not the Kabbalah, the Kabbalion. When you look at these ancient teachings, usually it's do not focus on what you do not want. Never focus on what you don't want. Always focus on what you do want. Mm-hmm. So when you're saying, I wish this, you probably are saying, I wish this meeting would cancel. You're actually manifesting the cancellation of the.
It's not this. It's not. I know that's. I have a question about that, because it's not the same thing about, it's not like, oh, the meeting is there and I was focusing on it, I didn't want it and it stayed. It goes away. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. That's kind of like what we're taught, not to focus on don't focus on what you don't want. But that's interesting. I guess because your desire, once you get very good, I'm gonna tell you what I know for sure. When you click into alignment really well, and what I mean by that is you're congruent. Your thoughts, your words, and your actions are the same. You're in alignment. Thoughts, words, action, and alignment. Mm-hmm. You manifest very, very easily. Mm-hmm. Most people have a chaotic vibration. So it's like, I really want that. And then it's going, ooh, but what if I get that? So one foot's on the gas and the other one's on the pedal, and the universe is going, what? Now, because the universe kind of speaks in a primordial language. Yes means go, like go means go, and stop means stop. But when you start with this, the chaotic vibration, it does, it's like it stops everything. And that is the biggest problem, I think, for women manifesting what they really want, because they think they know what they want, but they have doubts back here. Setting off that chaotic vibration. But when you're 100% like, hell no, I don't want that, usually it doesn't happen.
Well, thank you for all of this wonderful information. It's so fun to play with, like the ideas and about manifesting and the different things that we can do with our lives, and just all the different ways to use our feminine energy as well. And now we're kind of getting to the end of our time. So let's tell our viewers about your free gift.
Yeah. Well, my free gift, I very much believe that everything starts with sacred practice. And what I mean by that is basically you setting up private time to speak or spend time with your creator, whoever that may be. So the free gift I have is how to create sacred space and activate your life magic. We live in a very busy world. I've mentioned that quite a few times. it's a lot coming at us all the time. Women are juggling a lot of responsibilities. And then we have all the extra stuff, you know, worrying for the kids and our family and our community, and then the stuff on the media. And it gets very loud out there. Sometimes or most times, that blocks us from hearing the very, very whispering voice of the divine. Go this way, go that way. And also, it stops us from creating something, a mystical substance, which I've grown to become very dependent on, called faith. Because I will tell you that there are things in my life that I come up against, and everybody does, that feels way bigger than them, that it's insurmountable and you don't know the way out. And for me, I found tremendous inner peace by praying. I want to show you. I see right there. That's my altar. That's the Virgin, the Blessed Mother, right there behind me. And I light a candle to her, and I just tell her, "This is my fear. This burden feels too heavy, and will you please take it from me?" You know, and I just leave it at the altar. And there's something really therapeutic about leaving it in the hands of the divine.
Yeah.
So this particular workbook helps you, you know, set up your own sacred spaces, set up your own altars. I've added a bunch of fun things in there that I think that would make it really super interesting. You can have altars for health. You could have altars for prosperity. You could have altars for abundance and love, and like on and on and on. So it goes through all of those, and then through creating these sacred spaces inside and out, you do activate your life magic. It's a beautiful place to go, like you said, and commune with nature. Get out there and just rest and rejuvenate so that you can come back even stronger to your purpose and your work.
Wow. So that sounds really useful and beautiful. And everyone, go over and pick it up. It's free. Enjoy it. Create a sacred space for yourself, or use it to, you know, enhance the one you already have. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. And thank you, viewers, for being here. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and see you on the next one.